figure, literally. And a third little proof is if you assume now that this overlaps the center, the middle point of the string S, and then you pump down, okay, so you get rid of your V and your Y, so you're now just left with UXZ, prove that this is now of this form, okay? And you have to show that I and J cannot both be P, right? Not trivial, right? Not obvious. It's, you need to sit down with pad and pencil and give it some serious thought, right? Unless, well, okay, I'll leave that as a challenge for you. Okay, the I and J here cannot both be P, and therefore, well, they need to be P if they're to belong to the language. Okay, but they're not. They can't both be P. Therefore, this pumped string does not belong to the language, and therefore your language cannot be context free. Right? And that's the end of chapter 2. Now, before closing this this session, this board, this chapter, and this part, there are only 3 parts in the whole book. I would like to make one remark, I guess, a kind of ad for the whole series of deGarisMPC. The last few days I've been deciding more or less on my future in a way, what I'll be doing for the next decade or more. If I continue this deGarisMPC series, I was deciding on the texts and hence the courses I would do for PhD 1 and PhD 2 level. Now, I've already had a fairly good outline, but it's getting much more detailed now. I'm actually discriminating between texts and so forth. And so I have about 120 something texts for the whole first batch, before I get repeats, before I teach the same course with a different author and a different text. I've got about 120 something texts, and that'll take me over a decade. Right? It's a lot of work. This is a major enterprise, given the rate that I'm doing it at. I'm hoping I'll be able to speed up somehow. Maybe someone will join me and do the shit work, so I don't have to bother about pre-processing and uploading to YouTube and all that crap. It's utterly boring, but it has to be done because there's no one else to do it. Maybe somebody finally will appreciate the significance and importance of what I'm doing. Here I am educating the smartest people on the planet, the alphas, right? The alphas, the people in the top percentile of IQ in critical subjects, pure math and mathematical physics. And someone will, I don't know, give me a prize or a grant or money or something so that I can get other people, maybe somebody else, maybe I can hire somebody to do the shit work. And then maybe I could do 2 boards a day. I'd double my productivity, and then I could probably really do 600 courses before I die. So anyway, so I've chosen the texts pretty well, almost virtually finalized, and I've piled them up. 120 books, you can imagine, it's quite a pile, not just one pile. So I have 5 piles on top of my piano, and the 5 piles are the undergrad texts, the M1, first year master's texts, M2, that's the middle pile, second year master's texts, and PhD 1, the first year PhD level texts and courses, and the 5th pile on the right is PhD 2 texts, courses, and it's almost a straight line as you move from left to right. The tops of those 5 piles they lie pretty well in a straight line, so it's almost more or less a linear, a line, straight line. And Interestingly, particularly the PhD 2 level is nearly all string theory and M theory. A little bit of high-level topology, particularly so-called 3 manifolds. PhD 1 level has quite a bit of four manifolds, but they're harder. Sorry, 3 manifolds are harder. 4 manifolds a bit easier, although still not easy. So a bit of group theory in PhD 2 level, but mostly about string theory, M theory, brain, B-R-A-N-E, brain theory, and so forth. So it'll take me a good decade, I'd say, and it just struck me, and significantly, I will take a photo because it was very photogenic. It looks great. I'll take a photo of it and I'll put it up on my website, like the centerpiece almost. I'll have the deGarisMPC, the introduction, and then under it this photo, and because it's very graphic, and you just see the weight. I mean, in several senses. I mean, it's heavy on the piano top, right? But it's a Yamaha silent piano that I bought in Japan in the early 90s. It's 20 years old, solid, really solid, so it's strong. So I'm not worried about the physical weight of the books on the top. That should be okay. But it looks good, and I just stare at it and I just see like the next decade of my life. Right? It's all planned out, so long as I persist. So I hope you find it interesting, and some of you keep following me for years. My one big question mark is the style that I'm doing this. If the material to me, or aspects of it, are not new, then the strategy is I pick it up, I learn it as I'm writing it down, and sometimes there'll be little gaps. Maybe I didn't fully understand something because I just went through it too quickly. So I'm wondering, those kinds of problems, could they become perhaps severe when I'm up in PhD 2 level? Because then the works that I'm reading then, they're the super genii. They are the Greens, pretty old father of Witten, Schwarz, the founding fathers of string theory, and these guys are super. Their IQs are over 200. So will I be able to teach myself in a sense just by writing it up on the board? I have doubts. Or will I really have to study it heavily before I write it up, just to have enough background to? But I'm hoping, because I'll be stepping up. I'll be going through M1, M2, PhD 1, PhD 2. I'm hoping as I go, just by doing all these courses, I will have enough background to be able to just learn it by writing it up on the board. I don't know. Things evolve. We'll see. But anyway, expect this sexy new photo. It's quite dramatic and interesting.